everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about something that's really personal, and that is migraines and health and my journey throughout the years with migraines and how I deal with having a migraine and such things. And my motive with this video is that it'll bring some awareness. I've had this in my heart to do a video like this for like 8 years, you guys. Around 8 years. I'm not even kidding. Like, I've been wanting to talk about this ever since I found this like really difficult. I've been wanting to talk about migraines, and I think today is finally the day when I get to really talk about this. So I'm going to be talking about what migraines are and how it affected me and the kind of treatment that I got, and really how to find your shining light when you're going through something as difficult and painful as a migraine. So if you'd like to see something like this, if you know somebody who suffers from migraines, or you know somebody who is going through this, or even if you are somebody who's going through something like this, this is just me giving you a virtual hug, telling you it'll be all fine, and you can definitely live this life with a huge smile like mine, and really just ace in life, and don't lose hope. That is definitely one amazing message that I would like to tell you guys. Do not lose hope. So I'm going to be talking about my migraine journey, so stay tuned. So what is a migraine? A migraine is not a headache. A migraine is a neurological disorder, and you can feel the pain in any part of your body, but more importantly, you feel the pain in your head. But you guys, each person has a different story for migraine. So my migraine story might not be the exact same thing as yours. Some people have 2 to 3 headaches per month. Some people have 2 to 3 headaches per day. And the severity of this headache is crazy. Some people cannot even walk when they have a migraine. Some people cannot talk. They have difficulty talking when they have a migraine. Some people cannot see, and some people do not have a visual disturbance when they have a migraine, but they have really painful headache that really travels from one side of the head to the other side of the head, and it's like somebody repeatedly hitting you on the head. And some people have numbness in their fingers. So the definition, though, I'm not going to tell you guys a definition, because I can only give you my definition. But if you really want to know what a migraine is, or if you're suffering from migraines, I would suggest go and meet a good neurologist. Let them know what's happening to you, the kind of period that you get your migraine. Is it monthly once? Is it monthly twice? Is it just a migraine, or is it like cluster headache, or do you have any other sort of headache? Is there a particular day or time when you actually get this migraine? Does it involve your personality or your sort of mental peace? So really just talk to your healthcare provider or your doctor. Talk to them and really understand what your type of migraine is. Some people have tension type of migraine. Some people have menstrual migraine, like it comes before your period. And so even men get migraines, you guys. It's not even funny. Like, the pain, the severity, your mental health, everything gets disturbed when you have a migraine. So I really can't give you a definition of a migraine other than telling you that it's extreme pain and discomfort, and social and interactions become really hard and difficult. So other than that, I really can't give you a definition for it. But if you want to understand what sort of headache you have, definitely meet a doctor. So the first time I got a migraine was when I was in 7th or 8th grade, and I was really confused by what is happening to me because I had a visual disturbance. and I was seeing an aura, and one side of my eye felt like I was going blind, right? There was like these sort of lines going, it's like water running through one eye, you can't see anything clearly. And I was like repeatedly just looking like, what am I seeing? Is it real? What am I seeing? Like, what is happening to one of my eye? So if this is your first experience with a migraine, like, let me know in the comments down below, like, were you as confused and shocked and scared as I was? Like, I was really scared. So I was actually going for my max exam, and I was having a tension type headache, you guys. So some of these migraines are tension type headaches, and I was having a tension type headache because I cannot do math to save my life. Like, I hate math, and I was really scared of this max exam, and that's what was happening to me. And I went to the exam. I didn't do it well. I was crying because one side of my head was hurting so bad, and I was crying so much. I called my parents. I came home, and I remember telling my parents, like, this happened to my eyes, like I couldn't see anything, like, you know, and this happened, and they did not believe me. That is something that took me a long time to forgive them for, because like, they are my support system, they are the ones who have to protect me, blah blah blah. But they did not believe what I was saying. They were like, oh yeah right, like, you know, what's happening? They were literally like laughing, and I was like, no, but this happened. And I thought it was just going to be like a one-day thing, but then you know, migraines started reoccurring. I started getting them periodically, and that's when I knew I had a problem. And I then started talking to my aunt, who is a doctor, and she took it forward and took me to a neurologist, and we really got it diagnosed and stuff. So my journey, you guys, to just put it short, I am now 29 years old, and I've had migraines since I was 13 years old. And I think I have definitely aced really managing a migraine, but it's not always easy. It's not been you know, something that I could probably deal with better in life. I definitely deal with it better now, but there are days when even I just crumble and cry. You know, like, over the years, though, I've learned. Definitely been hard studying, like, you know, when I'm studying, especially if I get a headache, it's hard for me to really look at the sort of study material that I have, especially if I have an exam. How do I look at something when half of my eye is blind? So how do I you know, like, write an exam when there is like throbbing pain? Some people just have to be like bedridden when they have a migraine. So I really think that the education system should consider migraine as, you know, it's really is something as a special ability, you guys. Like, you really get disrupted physically, like, you can't talk, you can't interact. I sometimes like stutter, I forget stuff that I need to say. And also, because this illness is invisible, people don't believe us that we are going through something. So I really think the education system or the healthcare system should really just recognize this as a real problem. It's not just like, you know, oh, you're having a headache. No, this is like a real problem. We're going through this, and it's not something that kids especially, like, you know, when I was 13 years old, I had my first migraine. So I'm not going to like say, like, as a child I knew how to handle this, because even when I was a child, you know, like, my physical education teachers will be like, go play in the hot sun. They'll be like, go play in the hot sun, you know, like, go play like the other children. I'll be like, I'm having a headache, I really can't, you know, function. And they would find it so hard to believe me, you guys. But let me tell you, I'm strong. I've completed you know, my undergraduation, my post-graduation. I'm also, you know, getting you know, I went for a really good job. I've been acing all my, you know, I've been acing in my career. So it's not something that really you know, I let bother me, but it can definitely disturb your life. And it's definitely something that really troubled me regarding my future. I had a lot of second thoughts, like can I be a normal, like a wife to my husband? Can I be a really good mother to my children? Can I be like a functional parent who takes them out to school, who drives them back home? What if I'm driving and I get a migraine? All these thoughts I had when I was a teenager. That's when I was like, oh, maybe I should not get married, maybe I should not have children. These are the kind of thoughts that really disturb you. And I have definitely thought about it, and most of my migraines were actually depressing. Initially when I had them, I used to just get depressed, like, what is my life? This is it. Like, I'm not going to go anywhere in my life. Like, I'm just going to be in pain. I'm going to be locked in a dark room. I'm just going to suffer. And those are the things that go inside your head, and you really just have this sort of weird panic attacks. I have had like the worst panic attacks in my life, you guys. I've suffered a lot because of that. And you have constant anxiety, and it does not get better, because you at least feel like you're not going to just get better at all in your life. So that's my journey, you guys. But anyway, I kind of like fought through it, and I still get like 2 to 3 migraines per month. I have had 2 to 3 migraines per day. I've had continuous migraines. I've had it's really been hard, but I'm really, really thankful and blessed. And I should say, I put my faith, personally, for me, from my experience, I put my faith in God, you guys. Like, I used to pray about it, and initially I used to be like, okay, this migraine is something that's part of my life. But I actually started to pray to God. I'm a Christian, and my faith is in Jesus Christ. And I'm not ashamed to really talk about my faith, because it's something that's very, very important to me as a person. My faith has really just pulled me forward. I'm not healed. I have not prayed to God and got instant healing. So I'm just telling you that more than a positive quote or something, or say like encouraging words from your parents or your husband or your friends or something, the word of God really helps me. It puts strength in my bones, and it's really just pushed me forward with my life and migraine. And I used to just, nowadays I pray like, God, please heal me. This is not something that I want, but I understand that faith works through the life that you lead, the sort of walk that you have with God, and the sort of miracle that God wants to do through you. So I understand that my healing will come to me in the right time, but I do pray about it, and I do take it up with my faith. So while I was pregnant, though, I had a recession from migraines, you guys. So I had absolutely no migraines. 9 months of my pregnancy, I was migraine free. And some women don't get migraines at all during pregnancy, and some women get migraines during pregnancy. But I was like, I don't know, I was so blessed, you guys. I could do whatever, I could eat whatever, and I never really got a migraine, and I was very, very happy about it. However, though, after having my baby, and because of the sleeplessness and anxiety and the constant fear of what's happening to my baby, like, am I feeding the baby, blah blah blah, all those things came rushing on to me, and I got a migraine after like I think my baby was like 28 days or something. I got my first migraine, and I was really sad. I remember crying. I remember telling my husband, like, I just want to die, because you know what, that's how bad it was, because I was like migraine free for 9 months. I was so happy, right? And to get this migraine back, it really just destroyed me completely, and I felt really sad. And after that, though, I started getting my migraines like every month I started getting a migraine. But my mood and my my mental health definitely improved over the months, and I've started dealing with them better. But yeah, during pregnancy, though, some women, they definitely don't get migraines. So that's something that you might want to ask your doctor about. So I have actually taken a lot of medication for migraines. Initially, when I went to a neurologist, he had given me some painkillers and some medicines for the headache. But I really don't believe in taking painkillers, you guys. I kind of felt like, I just felt it by myself. Even at that young age, I felt like if I take too many painkillers, I'm going to become immune to this pain and these painkillers also, and they're not going to help me. That's something that I knew, and I would not take painkillers. I would just like be in the pain and just deal with it. And also I felt like those sort of, like when you go to a neurologist and you're getting sort of these allopathy medicines, they only treat the pain that is there at that time. So I wanted something more that would really treat the root of the pain. So I have been to an Ayurvedic doctor. I've been to I haven't been to a Siddha doctor, but I've been to like a homeopathy doctor, but I've not been consistent, you guys. I've also been to an acupuncture doctor, and let me tell you, I didn't have migraine for like 4 months when I went to the acupuncture doctor, and he was amazing, you guys. He really just understood my body, and he used to give me the needle treatment. But you guys, I couldn't really continue going with him because I obviously got married. I came here, and we also like shifted houses, and really meeting the doctor meant going to his house and his clinic, and that really wasn't something that I was able to do. I wasn't able to travel, so I really couldn't do it. But right now, though, I do constantly take homeopathy medicines, and it's been just 1 month, and I haven't missed a day that I have taken my medicines. So that is something that I really want to talk to you guys about. So I am going to be mentioning the homeopathy medicines that I am taking, but I would suggest that you go to a doctor, understand what sort of medicines that you need for your type of headaches, and really understand the kind of headache that you have, the problem that you have. But I am going to talk about the medicines that I take because it's homeopathy and they don't have any sort of side effects, but I'm going to be talking about it. But definitely do this under your own consent. So I'm just going to look at my prescription and read what sort of medicines I take. So I take Natmore, which is a drop format, and I have to take it in the morning and night, 10 drops, and this comes for 15 days, and this is directly to tackle the headache. And then I have Cefagreen, so I have it in like a tablet format and drops format, and this is basically for like the nose congestion and congestion of your like the vessels in your head, like our blood vessels get swollen up, right? So these really just release everything, and they just keep them in place. So the Cefagreen tablets, I have to take 2 tablets after food in the morning and night. And the Cefagreen drops is actually like a nasal drop, so like really just lift your nose, and you have to take 2 drops twice daily. And those nasal drops are like, ooh, it just goes into my head, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it really just gets into my nostrils, and it really just releases all the mucus in my nose, you guys. So I have the Cefagreen like nasal drops, and that's also for 30 days. And then you have a tablet called SL tablets. So these SL tablets are like white powder sort of tablets, and I have to eat them in the morning. And then I have a drops called Chionathis. I'm going to leave the spelling over here, and I have to take this drops 30 ml with water, and this is also after food, and this is for your liver so that it doesn't produce a lot of acid which mostly causes the migraine. So that's for the liver. And then I have something called Sepia, which is for menopausal tension. It's usually for like menopausal tension or periods, or it deals with that. And I have to take that weekly once morning on an empty stomach. So I take it every week, and that's like a tiny bottle with like a tiny amount of solution, you guys. I just have to take 2 drops of that medicine with 1 spoonful of water, and I just take it. It feels like as though I'm eating nothing, but it actually has a very good effect, you guys. And ever since I started taking this medication, I have not got a migraine. But I definitely want to continue my course and finish my course and see how it really, you know, helps me. I also have a peric acid tablet 200 and belladonna 3C tablet, and I have to take 5 globules every half an hour when I have a migraine. So it really just, it's like a painkiller. It tackles the headache and it makes the headache disappear. So basically how this homeopathy treatment works is that it reduces the severity of your headache, and it just pushes you back to the time you had your first headache, and the medicine that needed to have been given to you during your first headache will be given to you, thus making the migraine stop completely from your body. So this is the kind of treatment plan that I have, and this is the treatment that I'm going through. This is honestly what I'm having, and that's the reason I mentioned the medicines. But please don't misuse it, please don't abuse you know, any sort of medication. Definitely see your closest homeopathy doctor before you take any of these medicines. So you guys, we've come to the end of this video. This is something that's been in my heart, and I've just been meaning to sit in front of a camera and just talk about what's been in my heart for a really long time, and I'm happy that I finally got to do it. So if you're someone who suffers from migraine, please take it from me. Guys, your life can only get better. Don't feel depressed, don't feel suicidal, don't lose hope, okay? Medicine has just improved so much, and everybody is there to help you. If you feel like you're lost, lonely, some people have hallucinations. I consider them as bad thoughts, and let me tell you guys, I have really bad thoughts, you guys. But every time you get a negative thought, what you have to do is counteract it with positive thought. I usually just tell my negative thought, that's not the plan that God has for me, that's not the plan that, you know, I have for myself. I am going to be that, I am going to do this, I am going to be so damn successful and so damn happy. And that's how I stay cheerful and happy, and really just I lift myself up, and I also put my faith forward. I read the Bible, I take the promises that God has for me, and I really just put it into action for my life. So don't feel hopeless. I know it's really painful, I know it's the darkest of darkest days. I know nobody really believes you. Like, if you feel like nobody believes you, like, I'm there with you, you guys. I've been there. Nobody really believed me too when I was really in pain and crying. There are times when I used to come, you know, like walk from school and I'd get a migraine, and I'll just like stand near a fence because I just want the migraine to go off, and people would just look at me like, what is this girl doing, just standing alone? I have been alone by myself with nobody believing me, in extreme pain, crying by myself, alone. I haven't said alone already. Like, I have been there, I have done that, and trust me, you guys, you can be so successful, you can be so happy in your life, you can be the best version of yourself, and it all happens only if you believe in yourself. And also seek good medical help. So don't lose hope, and I will definitely do a part 2 of this if you know, this homeopathy medication helps me. So please stay tuned for that. But other than that, huge hugs from me, you guys. Huge hugs from me, and my love, and I'm there with you guys. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Please stay positive and cheerful. Bye.